Good morning everybody. Those who are viewing this video, today we will be having a class on demonstration of postnatal assessment. Will be a very useful procedure and video for all the viewers and all the students who are doing their specialization in obstetrics and gynecology, nursing, or they are BSc nursing 4th year syllabus. They are having this procedure, so we will be dealing with in detail about postnatal assessment. Before going to the procedure, just want to give a review about what is postnatal. Postnatal means the period just after, soon after the delivery, and the care which we are going to give to the mother and the baby during this period is called as postnatal care. And the assessment plays a very important role, a vital role during this time. Within 24 hours, we have to take care of the mother. It's very necessary to prevent any type of complications like PPH or any other hemorrhagic disorders. So we have to do these procedures very cautiously and observe the patient with full concentration to prevent any type of malefacts to the mother as well as baby. So postnatal care we are giving soon after the delivery, and the puerperium means the period soon after the delivery till 6 weeks. That period is called as puerperium, in which all the uterine organs revert back to their pre-pregnant state and try to maintain the non-pregnant state as previously it was. So what all things we have to observe during the assessment you see in the procedure. Before starting the procedure, we have to go through about a very important aspect of this assessment is bubble heat. This is a word which gives a significance of how to do step-by-step assessment of a postnatal mother. So this is a word bubble heat, B-U-B-B-L-E, bubble H-E. So each word has its own importance. B stands for breast examination, U stands for uterus, B stands for bladder function, B stands for bowel function, L stands for lochia, E stands for episiotomy, and H stands for hormone sign, and E stands for emotions. So this is the complete meaning of this word bubble heat, and this plays an important role when we are doing the postnatal assessment. Before going to start the procedure, as we know, this is all the gynec procedure, obstetric procedure, we need privacy. So we have to put on the curtains and give privacy to the mother. And before starting any procedure, we have to explain it very well to the patient. So I am going to my patient and will be talking with her and explaining what I am going to do. Savita, कैसे हैं आप? She will say she is good. आज हम आपका थोड़ा सा इंसिशन जहाँ हुआ है पेट का थोड़ा जांच करेंगे, नीचे का जांच करेंगे, थोड़ा देखेंगे आप ठीक ठाक है कि नहीं, ठीक है? और दर्द है, आपको कुछ भी तकलीफ होगा तो हमें बताइए. This is the way you have to counsel the patient and get the confidence from the patient side. Unless and until she will not agree with you, you cannot go for any procedure. So we have to first of all explain the procedure to the patient and get the consent from her. Then just I'll be explaining about the articles. We have to set one tray. This is a postnatal tray which consists of all the articles which are needed for the assessment. So before going for that any procedure, we have to do the hand washing. So I will be going for hand wash and just coming back. This is a tray of postnatal assessment. It consists of following articles. This is a height measuring tape from which we will be doing for evaluating the height of the patient. This is the stethoscope, one torch, knee hammer, and the bowls containing gauze pieces and cotton swabs, one face towel if it is needed, tongue depressors if needed, then inch tape, one pair of gloves, and for assessing the vitals, just kept the thermometer, digital thermometer, BP apparatus and the weighing machine. So these are the required articles needed for the postnatal assessment. Now first thing which we have to do in postnatal assessment is to check the height and weight of the patient. So I'll just ask the mother to get down from the bed and stand on the weighing machine just beside the bed which I have kept, because I will not tell her to walk to the dressing room or another room for weighing the weight. You have to take the weighing machine just near the bedside and take the weight of the patient. सविता, आप खड़े हो पाएंगे? थोड़ा सा आपका वजन नाप लेते हैं. So she will be coming and we can take the weight in the weighing machine. So you will be noting down after taking the weight, I'll be noting down her weight. Her weight is 60 kg. Next, I'll tell her to stand beside the wall to measure the height of the patient. So this is the way you tell her to stand straight and touch her occipital region to touch the wall, and you will be measuring the height of the patient. Tell her to stand straight and you will measure it. Like this you will measure the height of the patient. After that you will take the vitals of the patient. Just take the thermometer, wipe it and keep thermometer you can take axillary temperature. सविता, थोड़ा आपका टेम्परेचर नाप रहे हैं, बुखार तो नहीं है, देख लेते हैं. ठीक है? This way you have to take the thermometer temperature side by side, assess the pulse and respiration. Her temperature is normal, that is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit she is having. I just note it down. Then I'll take her BP, blood pressure also. थोड़ा आपका ब्लड प्रेशर भी नाप रहे हैं सविता. बीपी चेक कर लेते हैं. बीपी तो नहीं है, आपको बीपी की शिकायत हुई थी कभी? She is not having any history of blood pressure. Hypertension, she is not hypertensive. Just we have to check the vitals because it is very necessary in the postnatal period to check the all vitals. Her pressure is also normal, 120/80 mm of Hg, and also I will note it down in the record sheet. And after that I'll give proper position to the patient and I'll start the head to toe assessment. So before starting the head to toe assessment, I just put on my gloves. We have to start the head to toe assessment of the patient in postnatal assessment procedure. So I'll just give a comfortable position to the patient and start from head. समिता ठीक हो आप? थोड़ा सा सर का भी जांच कर रहे हैं. You'll see the hair texture, color of the hair, and any type of infections which are present over the scalp or not. Any pediculi or psoriasis or any dandruff or any previous scar was there, previous operations that she has undergone. This all you can assess in the head examination of mainly in the hair and scalp. Then coming to the forehead, you have to check the condition of the skin over there and the color of the skin. Mainly in the postnatal period, we have to check for chloasma, which may have happened during the antenatal period. It is visible soon after the delivery also, and it takes about 6 weeks to disappear. Chloasma, so that also may disappear. That may be present over the forehead, cheeks, the neck regions, the elbows, groin, and ear. That we'll check. And the condition of the eyebrows are symmetrical, hair growth, any sort of infections are over there or not. Then coming to the eyes, per eyelids, we will be checking first. We will see the if it is swelling is present or not, if any infections are there. Then coming to the eyes. Eyes plays an important role. You have to check the eyelashes, the hair growth is proper, symmetrical or not. Any sticky secretions are coming out from the eyes or not, you have to check. Then the color of the sclera, if it is pale or a white, or any hemorrhage is present, it may be an indication of jaundice. It can cause, if it is very white color, you have to tell the patient to look upside like that, and you have to check the lower palpebra. You just lift your lower palpebra and ask the patient to look upside like this, and if the lower palpebra, if it is pink or red, it's normal. The patient's HP hemoglobin is normal. If it is pale white in color, it's an indication of anemia. It's common symptoms we can see in the antenatal as well as postnatal mother due to the excessive bleeding in the case of postnatal. That's about the eye assessment. Then coming to the nose air entry is normal or not, any secretions are coming out, she is breathing well, you have to check like that. And with a torch you can assess the if any bleeding or any other secretions are coming out from the nose and as well as in the ears also, so you can see simultaneously. Then the mouth examination. Lips, you have to check the color of the lips. Color of the lips, this plays an important role in postnatal patient. It should be either pink or it depends upon the texture of the patient's or color, and it should be pink or normal color, but it should not be blue or dry. It's an indication of cyanosis or dryness. If it is present, it may be an indicator of dehydration, excess dehydration may be present. So you have to look after that. Any congenital anomalies you can assess here for cleft lip and cleft palate. Tell the patient to open the mouth and check the alignment of the teeth, gums, bleeding gums is there or not, proper hygiene. Then you ask the color of the teeth, if there is any dental infection, dental caries, pharia or any other sort of infections are there in the mouth, you can assess with the help of torch. Then tell the mother to open the mouth and pull her tongue outside. Savita, thoda jeep bahar karenge. And when you are examining the tongue, you have to see the color. It should be pink and moist. It means the patient is not having any sort of oxygen deficiency, or cyanosis is not present, bluish discoloration should not be there. And if it is dry, coated, white tongue, it's an indication for dehydration, ketoacidosis, which these are the peculiar symptoms of diabetic ketoacidosis for in case of excessive dehydration patient will have. And when you are examining it from the order of the breath, you can assess whether it is a normal breath or not. If a peculiar smell of ammonic smell is coming, it's also an indication of diabetic ketoacidosis. So these all things we will be examining in the mouth. Then the cheeks, the cheeks are symmetrical, chloasma is present, or the color of the skin you will be examining. Then tell the mother to turn one side. थोड़ा सा सविता करवट ले लेंगे, कान की जांच करेंगे. You have to check the ears if any abnormal secretions is coming or not. Hearing capacity is normal when you will be calling her name. सविता सुनाई ठीक से देता है आपको? आप मैं जो कह रही हूँ आपको सुनाई दे रहा है? She will note like that. हाँ सुनाई दे. So this is an indication that her hearing capacity is quite normal. Then coming to the neck examination. Neck, you will ask the patient. It's when the patient to sit in the bed, and you can tell her to sit like that. Savita, thoda sa बैठ जाओ and check the neck condition of the neck. You have to palpate for the thyroid gland enlargement, coitus is present or not. So like that, from the front to back, using your 4 fingers, you can palpate like this. Ask the patient to bend down the neck like this, and from front to back, using your both the hands, you can palpate the patient's neck for assessing any enlargement in the thyroid gland. We have to start our main assessment part of the postnatal mother. First letter is B. B stands for breast examination. So in the breast examination, it's a very important aspect in postnatal mother. When the patient is lying, patient's breast should be examined in 2 steps: inspection and palpation. So don't expose the mother. Whichever breast you have to expose that area, close the another adjacent breast and start the examination. So like this, if she is a patient, you have to fold the bedsheet like this, and सविता थोड़ा सा आपका ब्रेस्ट का चेकअप कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? So like this you have to start. So when we are doing the first thing, you have to inspect the breast. Inspection, we have to check the color of the nipple size. Montgomery's tubercle is present at the antenatal period itself. Secondary areola, dark pigmented layer around the primary areola is surrounding over there. That is formed properly or not. The size of the breast, the color of the breast, that then when we touch it, we will see the temperature of the breast. So these things we have to do in the inspection part. And when we are doing the palpation, it's very necessary to palpate. So you have to palpate the breast in circular motion and check whether there is any discomfort in the patient. When the patient is having any problems, like for most of the complication during the postnatal period is breast engorgement. Most of the mothers, they have common complaints that the milk is not coming out properly. The nipples are of small size, nipples are not properly formed. This leads to this problem, breast engorgement. So you have to take care of that problem very cautiously when you are doing the breast examination. When we touch the breast itself, if the patient is having engorged breast, it will be firm and very hard, and the patient will feel pain on touch. जैसे ही आप छूएंगे, she will have a shrieking voice. बहुत दर्द हो रहा है. Like that, she will be saying to you. So, and the temperature over that area will be increased. So these are the findings of the breast engorgement. Next thing which we have to examine is the This is the retracted nipple. In the case of retracted nipple, the nipples are not properly formed and the baby will not be able to suck the nipples properly, and the secondary areola is also not properly formed. This leads to a lot of problems in feeding, and this causes abscess and a bigger issue occurs. And sometimes the cracked nipples are also there, cracked nipples are there, and the patient will not be able to feed the baby properly, and the cracks are there at the end of surrounding the nipple area, and as well as on the nipples also there are cracks. When the baby sucks, the mother will have a lot of pain and the baby will not be able to suck out the milk properly. So we have to teach the mother at the same time itself for proper feeding and to solve these problems. Proper breastfeeding techniques, how to feed the baby, for a good attachment, what are the things should be taken care of when the baby is feeding from the mother's breast. This secondary areola, black portion, should be under the baby's mouth, and the jaw should touch the breast. The abdomen should touch the mother's abdomen. This and jaw should be properly opened, and the this gum should press over this secondary areola to press the milk, and the baby will be able to suck properly. So this is all about the examination of breast. Part of our assessment is U. U stands for uterus. So what we have to do the assessment of uterus. So we are going to do the assessment of abdomen examination itself. There itself will be able to do the assessment of uterus also. She has undergone LSCs. She's having the incision, the scar over here, and you have to take care about that thing. Don't press over the wound, and she will be comfortable enough to cooperate with you. So when we are doing the abdominal examination in postnatal mother, first step is inspection. Inspection in this procedure, we have to inspect the scar, condition of the scar or a wound, whether any type of bleeding or pus excretion is coming from the drain, or whether the bandage is present or not. You have to just inspect. Counter of the abdomen, scar is present, linea nigra is present, striatum gravidarum is also present soon after the delivery. It takes about 6 weeks or 1 month to disappear all these scars from the abdomen, that we all inspect during the inspection. The second thing, we have to do the palpation. Palpation we have to do very cautiously, because it should not cause any discomfort or any sort of pain to the patient. सविता, हम थोड़ा सा आपका जांच करेंगे, ठीक है? So you check your ulnar region and feel the upper border of the fundus of the uterus. Mostly after the delivery, soon after the delivery, the upper border, the fundus, will be felt at the level of umbilicus. And it will take, after 24 to 48 hours, it comes down to 1.25 to 2 centimeter just below the umbilicus. So we are able to palpate the upper border of the fundus. You can feel it like this, but it should not cause pressure over here. Then you have to check the fundal height with the help of the inch tape which you have kept in your tray. This inch tape, when we are assessing the fundal height, you have to start from the symphysis pubis. This is the patient's symphysis pubis, upper border of the symphysis pubis to the area where you have felt the upper fundus. So from symphysis pubis to the area where you have felt, like this. Approximately the measurement comes to 13.5 to 14 centimeter, and it reduces by day per day it reduces to 1 centimeter, and by 10th day or 2 weeks come to the pelvic organ. It comes revert back to uterus revert back to the their pre-pregnant stage and come back to pelvic organ. The weight of the uterus soon after the delivery is approximately 1 kg. It doesn't go back suddenly to 60 kg, but soon after, within 24 hours, the weight is 1000 grams, and it takes about 6 weeks puparium period to go back to the normal weight, approximately 60 to 70 kg. So these things we have to do in the palpation period. And next, after the inspection and palpation, we have to check the another things of this bubble he is B. Next, B, that is bladder function and bowel function. So when we are doing the abdominal exam itself, after the palpation, inspection, palpation, auscultate for next B, that is bowel function. To hear the bowel sounds, you can use the stethoscope and can hear the bowel sounds. Mostly it comes in the evening after the surgery in case of LSES, the same day itself, and in the normal delivery there is no problem of bowel sounds, it is there. So it's very necessary to check the bowel sounds in the patient who have undergone cesarean section. Then coming to the next part of our assessment is the genitourinary assessment itself. There we will check the bladder function and the lochia and episiotomy. Next alphabets. So I put on the gloves and ask the patient to give proper position to the patient, to keep the legs slightly apart. If she is able to fold the like this, she can do it. Otherwise, tell her to keep the legs slightly apart from each other. सविता नीचे की थोड़ा जांच कर लें. Okay, so we have to in this patient. Now, when we are examining the uterus, the important part is to check the genitourinary function. In that, we have to check the amount of bleeding. That's why just I have told you in bubble, L stands for lochia. Lochia is the discharge which comes from first fortnight, and this is being divided into 3 types: lochia rubra, lochia serosa, and lochia alba. Lochia rubra is for first 3 to 4 days, that is red in color, and you have, when you are doing the postnatal assessment, you have to ask the mother to when she has changed the pad. Savita, आपने pad कब change किया था? She will convey you that just now, or 20 minutes, or 15 minutes, or 1 hour, or she has not changed. So these give an idea amount of bleeding which have occurred in the case of postnatal period. So the amount of pads count is very necessary. If within 15 to 20 minutes, if it's getting wet, that is a bad indicator, or you can give special care that the patient may be going to postpartum hemorrhage. You have to check it very seriously, and you have to take care accordingly. So lochia rubra, this consists of red blood cells, the fetal membranes, the decidual cells, and the lanugo and the vernix caseosa. These are the secretions which are present in lochia rubra. Then comes the serosa, which will be there for another 5 to 10 days, to 12 days, and after that lochia alba, which will be there for at least 2 weeks. serosa is dark brown in colors. So these things we have to check when we are doing the examination of genitourinary. Slightly apart, keep your fingers like this and check the condition of the episiotomy wound, whether it is safe or not. Edema of the area of vagina, perineum, any injury which have occurred during the, in case of she has undergone normal delivery, we have to check all these things when we are assessing the genital urinary system. So we have checked the bladder. Also we have to check the B stands here, bladder. So before, as soon as the patient's delivery is over, you have to tell the mother to void, go to washrooms and void and come back. And if she is not able to do so, you have to put on the catheter. So before starting the procedure itself, if the mother is able to do so, you ask the mother to go and empty her bladder and come back. These things we have to do in postnatal assessment when we are doing for bladder examination to check whether the bladder is functioning well or not, if the reflex has came back or not, because some injury may have occurred during the labor or during the normal vaginal delivery. So you have to check, and if it is so, if the patient is unable to void properly, this can cause stagnation of urine, and this leads to urinary tract infection, which is very common in the postnatal mother. That's why we have to check the things, bladder function properly. Lochia and episiotomy. E stands for episiotomy wound. Also we have to check when we are doing the genital urinary examination. Next letter is H, that is hormone sign. And to check the hormone sign, it's very important aspect in case of postnatal mother. Then to check, it gives some significance of any proper circulation or not. This hormone sign asks the patient to lift her leg like this, flex like this, and you will be holding your hand just below the leg and knee, and you ask that when just dorsiflex the ankle like this. So when we are dorsiflexing like this, dorsiflexion causes pain in the calf muscles. It gives an indication of positive sign of hormone sign. अगर सविता दर्द हो रहा है क्या? She is not having pain. If she is having pain when we are lifting the leg like this, and when we do flexion of the ankles, legs like this, she will have a pain, then it's an indication of deep vein thrombosis, DVT. And hormone sign help us to know about this indication. In both the legs, you can check the hormone sign to see the condition of the DVT. Flex like this and flex the ankles, dorsiflexion. If the pain occurs in this, are the calf muscles, and pain occurs, it can gives an indication of deep vein thrombosis, positive hormone sign. If no pain, negative hormone sign. Also, another things we have to check in the lower limbs is the color of the legs, deep vein thrombosis along with that. Any varicose veins is present in the legs, swelling over there, color of the veins, that area, any bleeding is occurring or not, and swelling is there in the lower ankles. Press like this, because soon after the delivery, the patient may have edema over the legs. That is quite normal, which will diminish after 48 hours. If it is not going, you have to report immediately. And check the color of the nails and the movement of the extremities, lower extremities. So that's completes our bubble assessment of postnatal mother. B for breast, U for uterus, B for bladder examination, bowel examination, lochia and episiotomy examination, hormone sign, and last one is E. This E is emotions. Yes, of course, after getting this is the second phase of a woman which occurs in everyone's life when she gets married. Second phase, next phase, when she becomes mother. So when stepping into the motherhood, it's quite a big change in her life itself. She has to accept herself, and it's the changes which have occurred in her physiological body changes, and she has to take care of her baby also now. So this all comes in her emotions. So as a healthcare provider, we have to teach the mother to not to leave any confidence, counsel her regarding the postnatal care, what she has to do when she will be discharged and go back to home. The aspect is the emotions in which we have to give health education, what things she has to prepare herself. When she is in the hospital itself, we have to give good health education to her and teach her how to take care of herself, and when she go back to home, to her baby also. So सविता, जब तुम घर जाओगी, कल तो तुम्हारी छुट्टी हो जाएगी, क्या क्या चीज़ें ध्यान रखनी है मैं तुम्हें बताऊँ. First thing which we have to take care about, teach her, is regarding the personal hygiene. Personal hygiene, it includes the full body and especially the perinatal care. You have to give a good perinatal care to prevent any sort of infection. Teach the patient to change the pads frequently as it gets wet. Clean them with warm water, lukewarm water mixed with any antiseptic solution from front to back. From front to back she has to flush and make it dry and apply the pads. Wear cotton panties and undergarments when she is in the home, and remove immediately when it becomes dirty. And she has to take bath regularly and don't rub over the incision site. If she is having scissor scar, don't rub it. Don't put the water and you are not going to rub it properly. Just cover the wound, and when she comes back to hospital for dressing, after that you'll apply the ointment and they'll teach how to take care of that. Then examining breast care also, we have to teach. When she is giving the feed to the baby, tell her to clean the breast every time before and after the feeding. From nipple area to father area, make it dry and give the feeding properly, and frequent feeding should be given. The baby demand feeding should be given. Exclusive breastfeeding should be given to the baby. आपको बेबी को जब भी भूख लगे बच्चे को दूध पिलाना है. रोता है उसके पहले भी उठा के जगा के दूध पिलाना है बच्चे को. ये आपको पूरी तरह से ध्यान देना है. और ठीक तरीके से बच्चा दूध पी रहा है कि नहीं, ये आपको देखना है. बच्चे की जो मुंह है वो पूरा जबड़ा है, वो आपका काला वाला जो भाग है स्तन का, ब्रेस्ट का, वो उसके जबड़े के नीचे आना चाहिए. तभी बच्चा ठीक से सक करेगा, तब वो ठीक से दूध पी सकेगा. अगर आप सिर्फ निप्पल को सक कराते हैं तो दूध ठीक तरीके से बच्चा फीड नहीं कर पाएगा. ये आपको विशेष ध्यान रखना है. You have to teach like this. Next you have to tell them regarding her diet. Diet is very important here. She has to be given about 2,800 kilocalories a day. Lactating mother, because she is lactating, we have to extra 300 calories to be added from the antenatal period when she enters the postnatal period. And rich in the carbohydrates, proteins, high proteins, iron-rich diets should be given to the patient. All the medications which we are giving, iron, folic acids, calcium, it should be continued when the patient is in the hospital, and as well as she goes to the home also. Take care of the baby. Come for the immunization also at timely. She'll be given the card, and accordingly she has to visit the hospital for postnatal checkup as well as the baby's immunization. and the care of the bladder also she has to report immediately if she is not able to void properly, if there is any itching or any infections or foul odor is coming from the vaginal area or from the episiotomy bone, or while micturition also she is having pain, or there is a burning sensation is there, this type of things is there occurring, she has to report immediately to the doctors. One important thing which we have to teach to the mother is regarding postnatal exercise. सविता, जब तुम घर जाओगे तो थोड़ा एक हफ्ता रुक करके आप एक्सरसाइज जरूर स्टार्ट कर देना. अभी पेट का तो अभी नहीं कर पाएंगे क्योंकि अभी आपका इंसिशन है, सीजर हुआ है, उसका थोड़ा ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. पर उसके बाद आपको कुछ एक्सरसाइज हम सिखाएंगे जो आप घर जाके कर सकते हैं. You have to teach regarding the postnatal exercise like Kegels exercise, pelvic floor muscle exercise, a very important exercise and really helpful to regain the power strength of the pelvic muscles. So teach her regarding the Kegels exercise. Breathing exercise also she can do when she will be discharged, as said, at the earliest sister, because early ambulation also lead to the proper healing of the scar. So these are the things which we have to teach to the postnatal mother regarding postnatal care when she is being discharged from hospital to the to home, and take care of her baby. So both the mother and the baby will be fitted. That's all about this procedure. Thank you very much.